Colette is the newest film in theaters. Well, it just came to theaters near me. But anyways, Colette follows the story of, you guessed it, Colette, as she is a writer in the late 1890s, early 1900s. And the thing is, though, is she's a ghostwriter, meaning that her husband takes credit for all of her work whilst she writes all of this successful work. This film interested me because of that whole premise of, those early writings, because I took a bunch of English classes, obviously, but in college as well. And it is fascinating just how many writers, male writers, I should say, took credit for what actually were female writers' work. That always fascinated me. And so to see a film like Colette in theaters, I had to get props for that alone. But the question is it more to it than just these great messages about how people's stories and who wrote them need to get out in the open? Well, let's find out. First of all, this film stars Keira Knightley in the lead role of Colette. And she's fantastic in this film. It's funny, though, because she's pretty much typecast. I mean, she was in Pride and Prejudice. She was in Atonement, Anna Karenina, Pirates of the Caribbean. She's just in a bunch of these, period piece films. But she does such a great job in them. So it's I can't really say, hey, she's typecast and it's not working. Because, no, it works very well. She is really good in this film. Speaking of the costumes, the costume design is very luscious. It's gorgeous to see these, old-fashioned costumes, as well as the production design to make it look, really 1890s-esque. I like the film in terms of the way it was shot as well, and the score. Technically speaking, it does get a pass from me, for sure. Way past the passing mark. It's really good. I was also entertained by it because, again, these messages I felt, for me personally, were important, as well as it's just, they do a good job. With the material that it's given, in my opinion. Now, I have heard that the story of Colette has been told many times before. I haven't seen those versions, so keep that in mind while I'm praising this film. I haven't seen those versions, and I haven't read her books either. But so that's why, because I went into this as open-minded as possible, because I've been trying, as I've been saying in my reviews, I've been trying to do that lately, and it's why I'm very vague about the premise of films, because I feel as though you guys should also go into films open-minded. Obviously, if you've seen the film already, then you're kind of why aren't you fully explaining? But it is what it is. So, again, technically speaking, entertainment-wise speaking, it gets my pass. Could I rewatch it? Yeah, I would definitely rewatch this film. I think it is definitely one of those films that, for open-minded people, it's definitely a good film to show to them. And also, it just has this, excuse me, this charm to it, that you can tell the director knows what he's doing and how he wants to say it. That being said, as much praise as I can give this film, and trust me, it is a lot, I do think that towards the end it does slow down and it kind of loses a bit of its footing. And by that I mean, by the end, I thought that there were one or two places where they could have ended the film, but they didn't. And I understand why they didn't, because at the end of the day, with the final plot point, it makes sense. But at the end of the day, I still can't help but say, hey, I just felt towards the end there were some cutting that could have been done. But nonetheless, Colette, I do recommend. I think that this is a film that you'll hear about at Oscar time for best costume design, best makeup. And nothing wrong with that. But this is that film. Last year it was Victoria and Abdul. This year it's Colette. The difference being Colette is actually a really good film, and it's well acted, and I think you'll enjoy it. Check out Colette, guys, because Colette will be getting a 4.5 out of 5-star rating from me. For those that like a hot sauce letter grade, gets the old Tabasco rating. So, yeah, definitely recommend this film. Guys, if you have seen Colette, which I hope you have, what'd you guys think of it? If you haven't, what are you waiting for? Come on, check out Colette. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and don't forget the subscription, notification bell, and I'll